Well, I'm really excited to be here today, I really want to thank you for doing this. It means a lot for Darren and Dana, I'm sure, and they are the builders of this most incredible home on Loch Ness Street in Kelowna, and Christy is the buyer, so she lives here now, and we just wanted to talk about D.D.T Developments, which is the build company, and yeah, everything that you like about the house, and just wanted to have that interview today, so thank you.
I remember the first day he showed up, he's like wearing his building clothes, he's super dirty, which I really love because I think a lot of builders these days don't actually do the work, and I think it's really cool that even though he's got his own company, he actually enjoys doing the work, being a finishing carpenter by trade, and so many people have commented on the finishings. I don't know enough about it personally, but we've had friends come through that are actual finishing carpenters, and they're always like looking at all the finishings and everything, so.
Yeah, I love that too, because he's actually built several houses on this street, and he is what I want to say is a master carpenter, or like a journeyman here in Canada, wherein he got his certification in Australia, and there you have to do 7 years of school and apprenticeship in order to become a builder. So you have to become a carpenter. And I think it's really cool that it's same with me. Like, I might not be able to identify those things, but tradespeople that come in can tell it's exceptional quality. And Dana's his wife, and she prides herself in interior design. And she kind of told me the story, and Darren filled it in a bit, but she will just pull all these samples from all these places. So like flooring and colors and paint colors and tiles. And she actually works at a tile place and consults with a ton of builders in town on tiles. So we love the tiles in this house.
She did just such a beautiful job, and there's little things that I think she's just a bit ahead of the curve on, like our tile in our laundry area. I actually saw the same tile the other night when I went to Erica Jane for dinner.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool,
Yeah.
because that's like, you know, a
Kelowna's
new fancy
trendy restaurant.
Yeah. So.
And you have the same one in your house.
Exactly.
I love that. How did you find, like after you bought the house, you moved in, I know you guys put in a pool, what would you say about the customer service experience with this builder?
Oh my goodness, Darren's just been great from day one. Like, we said it ourselves, we could have done the whole deal on a handshake. Like, you've been so amazing, but I feel like we literally could have bought this house on a handshake. Even when we were kind of ironing it out, we just went out for lunch together and then talked about like what we can and can't do, because obviously with a new build, you can make some changes if you want here and there. Obviously we were figuring out how to go about doing the pool and stuff like that. So we're putting the liner in the spring, but from like to get to here probably took a month and a half, and then Darren's like out in the backyard in the digger every morning. I'd walk out and be like, hey Darren, how's it going? So yeah, it's been really great, and you know, for me, this is my first time having a new built home, so I've never worked with a builder before, so I didn't go in with any expectations, but I also have, you know, heard all of these stories about builders being difficult and that kind of thing, and you know, you can be a little bit annoying when you're like, oh, like, can we do this now? Can we do this now? But Darren's just so good at like figuring out a way.
Great. Okay, so what I know about Darren is that because he's built so many houses, he also has really good relationships with all his trades. He knows the guys that work for him inside and out so much that he's exceptionally good at communicating, at getting quotes on exactly what it would cost. I don't think he's ever thrown numbers out off the cuff. Like, he will sit down and actually work out the math so that you know what you're getting, you know how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah, even when we were sorting out what the pool was gonna look like, he would not give us a quote until he'd called. He had 3 different pool guys come and look and kind of give him a quote on what that's gonna cost, and he wanted to really price it out properly. I feel like it's hard to find good labor, but Darren found it all. All of his workers are really great. Obviously, when you're first moving in and you have to get some stuff done, people work pretty in and out for the first month here, and all of them were super lovely. Absolutely no complaints. You know, when you get a new build, you think of like, oh, like build it from scratch and it's super customized. With this house, it was fully built when we bought it. And there were things that I wasn't sure if it was an option to change. And then anytime I brought something up, Darren would look at it and be like, yeah, I think let me look into it, but I'm pretty sure we can do that. And just like so open to, you know, making it our own. One thing that is really nice about our relationship with Darren and also his wife Dana, and feeling like it's more of a friendship than a working relationship. Obviously with a builder you have the 2510 warranty, so we're gonna be around for a while.
In their lives, like having a relationship with them for,
Yeah, so I don't want it to be, you know, if something were to come up, I don't wanna have it be a chore to, you know, figure it out, coordinate it, call the builder. They're like, oh, we'll get someone there in 6 months. Darren, I have no doubt would just be there in a day.
Because he cares. Like that's what I find working with him too. They really care and they take a lot of pride. You know, like he wants to be proud of his homes, right? Real pride, really. Like I can't even express that enough, because it's like both of their hearts are in these places right from the foundation up. You know, everything is like meticulously done. Their reputation is of utmost importance, right? That their houses are shining. So we're in Black Mountain in the Okanagan Valley, Kelowna, BC. What do you think of this neighborhood?
I absolutely love this neighborhood. I could rave on and on about it forever. Obviously you can see we've got mountains everywhere. So walking the dogs on a tour anymore, there's a ton of hiking trails. It's really nice being over the golf course, especially on this street. We'll never have any houses there, which is really nice. I personally, when my partner originally proposed moving out here, thought it was like the middle of nowhere. It's like, oh, I don't know if we can live that far. No one's gonna come out and see us. It's really not that far. And you know, it's just so beautiful out here. I have people coming out here for hikes all the time. You know, it's got that draw. So there's a real sense of community. We walk the dogs together. We just go and have coffee in the morning. A lot of people work from home like me, so there's that real social aspect, glass of wine in the evening, and like very open door policy.
A bunch of these homes as well have the mortgage helper or the suite, right? Like a legal 1-bedroom suite. Yours does, other ones on the block do. How do you find that?
Yeah, I absolutely love the suite. First of all, it's probably one of the nicest suites I've seen. They did really nice finishings. Normally people kind of cheap out on the suite.
That's true.
But it's beautiful in there, but also durable. Like it's got the laminate floor, so it's not gonna scratch. And then our tenant actually has 2 dogs, like 2 golden retrievers. I've never heard a thing from down there because it's under the garage slab. And then there's significant soundproofing for the little bit that's not.
Yes, and Darren, you know that Darren's paying attention to that when him and Dana are designing the house. They're thinking about the soundproofing, the garage slab, the nice finishings, but also the durability and the wearability. Like I know that's all in their mastermind plan of when they build a house. So it's nice to know that you're enjoying the fruits of that.
Well, one thing that was really important for us, because in our previous home we had hardwood floors, but they were just so fragile. Like I've got a 45-pound dog. I've got an 8-pound cat that would scratch that floor. So when we were going through the house, we were asking about the floors because we didn't want them to get all scratched up. And Darren actually sent us home with a piece of flooring to take home and try and scratch up, just to be like, oh, well, like, why don't you like go scratch it with a key, test it out, which I thought was just a really awesome thing to do. And we hadn't even written an offer yet. He was like, oh, here, just take a piece of the floor and test it out at home.
Yeah. You were telling me how you didn't fully appreciate it when you were about to buy it, but living in it, it became like, oh, I love this, right?
Yeah, it's funny, little things that you don't really realize until you move in. I know that can go the other way. It can go either way. For us, it went really well. Yeah, it's just, I feel like convenience, the word, like everything's so thoughtfully laid out.
Beautiful.
But yeah, just the flow of it all, like it's really made for, you know, entertaining, and people look at me, and I've had this said to me numerous times, like, this isn't a house, it's a home. And I really feel that.
Awesome, I love it. Well, thank you so much for letting us into your home today and for sharing the stories. And yeah, I wanted to create this video to really give people that haven't worked with D.D.T developments with Darren and Dana as builders kind of an inside story of what it's like, the kind of people they are, just that level of trust, you know, that we both feel, and just to relay that out so that, you know, because you don't always know what you're going to get with a builder, right? And it's nice to try and get to know them and hear other people's stories about them. So I appreciate that.
And I would definitely recommend for anyone that is interested in one of D.D.T Development homes, just meet with Darren and you'll get it right away. It's just, just gives off such a trustworthy, he means what he says, he's very authentic. You know, I couldn't have asked for a better builder, and I kind of feel guilty when I hear other people having struggles with their builders. I'm like, my builder is amazing.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Thank you for meeting me today.
Of course.
Yeah. If you have any questions about building a home with D.D.T Developments, or if you're considering buying one of their homes that's already on the market, absolutely feel free to get in touch with Darren, and he will be happy to meet you, walk you through the property, or walk you through the lot to talk about making your dream a reality.